Hey, it's Miss Pritzel, and I am book talking How to Survive Your Murder. And it's by Danielle, Valentine. We kind of cover up the name there, but they're so nice to put it right there on the spine for us. So this is a new book to our collection. Did a lot of focusing on mystery this past summer. This is one I didn't read until recently, and we just got it in the library. So it is labeled as horror slash mystery, and I'm like, is it really? And it was one of the reasons why it kind of went higher on my list because I wanted to know which is it really? Because sometimes there's both, but usually it's more than one than the other. It's more mystery than horror. So I think the reason it's classified as horror is because the main character, and I think maybe the author, are really involved in love slasher films. So Scream, Halloween, all those films. There's certain the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I can think a lot of these movies, but I've never seen any of them. So the main character is Alice, and it starts out where she is about to be a witness in the trial of the person who murdered her sister, and because she's a witness to the murder. And this murder happened around Halloween time in a corn maze. And so there's just a lot of horror movie, like, kind of things you normally see in a horror movie, like you'd expect that. There's a lot of that in this book. And even I, who don't watch horror movies, could understand a lot of these, oh yeah, that's from horror movies. That's traditional horror movie. So what makes this book extra interesting, though, is that there's a time switch. So there's a little bit of thing you have to go like, oh yeah, I believe that this could actually happen. That Alice goes to the bathroom and she meets a double, what we might call a doppelganger for this character from the Scream films, Sydney somebody. I had to look it up. And she gets knocked out, and the Sydney character tells her, you have 24 hours to figure out who really murdered your sister. And so Alice goes back in time a year to the night her sister was murdered to figure out who actually murdered her sister. And there's a series of things that go on. Like I said, this is full of things from slasher films, like themes, like what some people would call tropes. There's this big thing about final girls in slasher films and what happens, like who's the first person to get killed and who's. So they use a lot. If you're into slasher films, you're going to appreciate all that. But like I said, I am not into slasher films, and I really did enjoy this as a mystery. I thought, like I said, the time jump, we start out here and the time jump backwards to see how things go. And there's stipulations too. Like, it's not just you have 24 hours to figure this out. You can't die. You can't, so there's a little scavenger hunt type thing to it because she's trying to figure this out. She's got a time limit. She can't die. It's almost like it made me feel like I was in a video game a little bit. And it was actually, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not a horror slasher film movie fan at all. So I probably didn't get all the references. But I really did like this as a murder mystery type thing. And I liked the time thing, having that happen. At first I was like, what's happening? But once I was like, oh, okay, I figured it out. And it was just a really good mystery. So if you like horror slasher movies and you want a mystery, this would definitely be one for you. If you just like plain old mysteries or other suspense type things, come in and I will help you find something else. Or if you don't like mysteries at all and want something totally different, come in because it's my job to keep everybody reading. And I love helping you find books. Bye.